So I think the last we left off, I just pulled this part out, and it was okay. So this is the part where it mates up the engine. It was leaking very badly right in this area and in this area too. So this area here and this area here. Right now it's all nicely cleaned up. There's some stain marks on there, but I assure you it's still very clean. It was very difficult to get this gasket off. Most of the gasket was very easy to get off. This part was a little difficult, but what made it even more fun was the water pump, which I didn't really need to pull off, but I wanted to check it out to make sure the impeller was in good shape and everything was working good, and you can't see it, so I had to take it off, and that ended up taking me pretty much like half a day just to scrape the gasket off, get the new one on. It was very ironically, this gasket failed. This gasket was super strong and very difficult to remove. I tried all kinds of things. In fact, you can see some of the things I tried here that did not work. This is actually a dull scraper blade. Kind of like that one because it doesn't scratch up the metal. But I tried that and that failed. What I ended up using was a wood chisel to get the gasket off. It was very well stuck on there, and I had to use a very sharp chisel. And I did scratch up the metal a little bit in places. I was trying to be very careful, but it's still going to happen. So after getting that all cleaned off, actually it was very difficult to get it off even with this. I managed to get most of it off, but then I still had little bits left, and I had to use the other scraper devices to try to remove them. And I tried using brake cleaner, and various solvents. I even brought out a torch to try to get these gaskets off, and all that didn't really work terribly well. I don't know what these gaskets were, why, but this was like one of the most difficult gaskets I've ever had. So I had to resort to barbaric tools, but I got the job done. And then I actually used some very fine sandpaper on the surfaces to clean them up a little bit more. It's not really the right way to do it, but hopefully it'll work just fine. Then I banged out the seal that was in here. This one here. I had to use chisel from the back side to get that sucker out. It really did not want to come out. I tried using a socket and I couldn't quite get it like on the edge there, and I ended up using this and knocking it out, and it came right out with the chisel. Then putting in the new seal, I just put a board on here and smack the seal in. It probably bent it a little bit, but I think it'll do a good job. Now you got to lube this up, and oh, I also put the there's 5 8mm bolts in there, 3 here, and I put those suckers back in, but I left them a little loose so that these holes will line up with the other holes. When I put all these bolts in, then I can cinch all these down, and I believe these are about 20 pounds foot-pounds, and these are like 5. They're not very much. It doesn't take much to hold those suckers in place. Basically these just hold the pump onto here. I don't even know why you need those, because I guess they hold the pump onto here after you pull these bolts out, so they don't really need a lot of force. It's these bolts that hold everything together nicely. So there we are. And it's just about ready to go back in. I've cleaned all the surfaces. I even used a fresh towel and brake clean on all of this stuff so that it's nice and clean and will hopefully seal very well. So now that mess is cleaned up out there, I gotta clean this mess up out here. Inside the car, it's got the gasket. Actually a little bit of rust since the last day or two since I got at it. There's the gasket here. Most of it came off pretty easy. This seems to be coming off pretty easy too. Kind of like that. Not hating that. Looks like it's just a little bit over on this side. It's kind of gooey. So, that cleaned up. This is a little RTV here on the oil pan seal. Clean that up, put some fresh stuff on there. This is actually relatively easy to clean. I'm not going to need power tools or anything like that. I thought I was going to need to get a wire wheel and just start whirling away at all of this to knock it off, but I think it'll actually just peel right off. Probably with my finger. It was nice and clean earlier, but my finger is not clean anymore. Oh well, whatever. So I did put these paper towels in here, these shop towels, whatever, in there to help keep any of these bits and dirt and coolant and stuff that we don't like from getting in the oil. If I compressed air, I'd probably blow it out. Compressed air though. Gasket right here. Gotta clean that all up. And you can't even see what I'm talking about, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, so I gotta clean that all up. Okay. Okay, clean this up. I even used the brake clean on the towel and wipe that all around carefully. And now I'm ready to pull out these rags that are here just to make sure I don't get any dirt inside the motor. So everything should be very, very clean. So let's go ahead and clean. Now, it goes the wrong way, and that was it. This is the not wrong way, hopefully, or it's the wrong gasket. Uh-oh, that seems to fit. Tube of black RTV. Flop there. Flop there. Just right in the corner is what I did. It's that oil ring there. Should get some oil on it to help it go on without causing any wear. And you can go ahead and get oil all over it because that's what's going to be holding the oil in. So it's okay if you get it all over here. There's no point in putting it on the outside here though. Now, okay, the fun part, trying to get it back on. There's all this stuff in our way. Stuff like, because move this hose out of the way. We've got this heat shield we gotta move out of the way. And then I gotta get the shaft. We not got some Teflon. Cleaned off the RTV is. We don't want RTV in these bolts. Let's see. So the first two are these guys here, and just on this side of the pump, the little one goes. By little, I mean the little stud. And this Teflon sealant. Okay, one stud goes in the second one. Actually, these look like they didn't get any sealant and they didn't get rusty, so they probably don't need any sealant. But it's not going to hurt anything to put a little sealant on it. Actually, kind of helps it thread. Looks like it's a lubricant, so nothing else. Get that added benefit. Alrighty, so those are the first two, were the short stud and the long stud. Then there's a whole bunch of regular size ones. Most of them are single size. The one down here also has a stud. I had it up here, but I had it up here, and I put some stuff on it, and I can't find it. And that's definitely one that needs sealant because it was all rusty. I had to clean it off quite a bit. Any rate, so somehow I lost it and I can't find it. I will have to find it at some point. Any rate, so we've got several of these guys to put in also. Let's go ahead and just gob them up with some sealant. There. And you can see on these they did have a sealant. And you can see it did work on this one, but not so good on that one. Anyway. Now those are all in place. Well, I probably should wait till I get that last one, just because. And I'm going to have to find that. So I'm going to have to shut the thing off and look for that stupid bolt. So right here, you can see the oil pan seal. Oops. Looks like it's maybe pushed out a little bit in the front. This is actually quite difficult to put back in. And you've got holes here and here where you got to line up screws, and if that isn't in right, then the screws won't line up right, and well, things won't seal. So it's really important, first thing you do when you put this cover on is to put those two bottom bolts in, make sure that seal's fitting right. These are a couple of 8mm bolts. Now we have to set this guy. Shoot, where's that screwdriver, damn it? I need that screwdriver. Alright, wrench has been set to assemble. Okay, set to on. Okay, that's on good enough. Alright, dropping stuff all over the place. There goes the socket. Well, I don't need that till I put the other one in. Go ahead and put that one in loose and drop it on the ground so that we can come back over here. Ha ha ha. Yeah. If you dry it off and clean your hands, and it won't slip out of your hands. Alrighty. And I also know that I lost this bolt here. Don't know how I lose a bolt. I don't know. How do you lose a bolt? Got up and walk away. I don't know. Anyway, so I should probably start snugging some of these guys down. Alright, where the hell did that stuff go? How could it elude me? How is this possible? Where are these things going? That bolt and that socket. Oh, this is just too damn frustrating. Well, I never did find that tool, and I never did find the that bolt. That's not an 8mm. There it is. See, there's one. Two. 3, 4, 5. Okay, I use a small wrench, so it makes it hard to over tighten. I didn't even torque those, so they're only like 5 pounds. Drop another socket. But where the hell did that socket go? Alright, well, pretty sure I can still get that socket on after I get this on. I think I want to get this on. Come on, light. There we are. Yeah. Alright, I think I might have to call it a night because I gotta find that bolt and I gotta find that tool, and it's getting dark and I'm just tired. This thing's been frustrating for me. It's getting dark. Time to eat. Okay, so I have them all torqued down, including those 17mm ones down there. Yeah, I'll leave a chart to show you which ones go where and the torque specs on them. And even a part number, but when I had a problem and needed one, they're obsolete, so they probably won't have the part if you ask. But you'll know what size, so that's the important thing.